Morning guys. So first mess up of the day is that I filmed myself unwrapping the bike and getting it all ready, and then I realised that the camera was on photo and not blinking video, so my apologies, but the bike is ready. I've taken all the covers off. Would have been boring to watch, but I was going to speed it up. Anyway, here's the bike. All I'm using is, as usual, my trusty old toolbox. As I've said before, most of this is charity tools. Walk around charity shops, get loads of tools for what I need. Means I don't have to spend hundreds of pounds on equipment I don't need just to get the one spanner. Got my scissor jack. Not sure if I'm going to use that today because I don't really need it to change oil, but it would be good to get the bike level, to top the oil up to make sure I've got the right level. Oil filter, obviously, just here. Still sealed. Oil, I use semi-synthetic as the recommendations by the manufacturer. See, semi-synthetic oil. I've got my nice clean sump bung and finally found some crush washers. A couple of tools here. Should be all I need except for a big spanner for the sump bung. I got my drain oil tray, which I always use. Now, first thing is, this needs to come off. And because I didn't know that the camera wasn't rolling, I've already started. So I've put the bits back in just to show the way I do it. But before I do, look at the corrosion from the salt. You can see where it started to corrode. Now, as you can tell, mine is very, very worn. It's a 60,000 mile bike. See this here, look at all this white. This is salt corrosion. I don't know if it shows up. Yeah, it does rub off, look. This is where the salt starts to corrode. And as you can see, my bike is filthy. I've used it every day and it needs a damn good clean, especially those beautiful gold wheels. Look at the dirt. Anyway, so I'm going to clean it after and clean the chain. So yes, salt corrosion. Try and wash it off as often as you can. Obviously, by the state of my bike, I haven't been able to wash it. So today is specifically oil change day, because the light fades really quickly. It's due to rain this afternoon apparently, so I thought I'd just get the oil change done. So, first thing we have to do, sorry about flitting between screens, got to take this off. Oil filter is down in there, so this has to come off. So this is the first thing I'm going to show you, okay? And come on. So, just as a disclaimer, this isn't a how-to video. In no way am I saying you should do it this way. This is just the way that I do things in my back garden on this muddy ground when it's damp and wet. I've got a baby mat here, baby mats there, and that's what I kneel on. So we're going to get cracking. So the first thing we do, guys, is we've got to get this out. So Phillips screwdriver, just in there. This is plastic, so go careful with it, don't hurry. You can see it's coming out, hopefully. So yeah, so my shaky hand, you can see that's coming out. Then you get a little screwdriver in here and you just ease this out. Cool. And there you go. So there you go. It's a bit like a wall plug in the wall. As the screw goes in, it opens up that bit of plastic. You can see this is quite old and worn, and that secures that in there. It doesn't need to be a really tight fitment either. Also, get yourself a tub to keep stuff in. Next is this one. Now, as I said, because I didn't realise the camera wasn't rolling, I've already done some of this, but I will show. So just here, always use a good fitment first, and if you need to tap that in with a hammer, tap it in, then break the seal. Once you've done that, then you can use one of these. I got these off of eBay for about a tenner, and these allow you to put it in because this brake lever is in the way, so it just allows you to angle to undo it. And once the seal's broken and it starts unscrewing, you haven't got to worry about rounding off the thread. So that's in there. Now that's loose. Okay. Then the next bit is this one here. You can see I've already broken the seal. As I said, my camera, I didn't realise, wasn't on record. So what we're going to do again is we're just going to get this in here, and we're just going to unscrew it like so. Now you may notice that this is holding on my crash bars, engine bars, whatever you want to call them. So this is a slightly thicker, longer bolt than the original. Obviously it has to be to take the weight of the crash bars if the bike falls over. I don't actually like crash bars. The only reason I got them is because these fairings are so hard to come by now that I come out once to find my bike nudged over into a hedge. So I thought, right, crash bars it is. That comes out. And there's your Allen bolt there in the tub. And as you can see now, this is loose this side, but you can see my fairing is cracked here. This has happened before I had the bike. And what I think it is somebody's pulled this off without realising it's clipped in. So be very careful on this bit. See the tab? Just there. And then just gently, you've got 2 tabs. When the bike's old, any bike, not just mine, when the bike's old and it's cold, these are so easy to snap off. But more than often you do what this person has done before me, and you crack the fairing. I have glued it, but obviously vibration, it comes off. So this side is now free. I notice my exhaust wrapping's coming undone, so I need to put a seal on there. And you can see where the filter is now. That is if I can get a good angle for you. There's the oil filter, just there. So, really this does need to come off. I dare say you could get your hand up underneath, but that would make an awful mess. So it's better to take this off. So now we're going to go around the other side, do exactly the same. I have got the bike on the side stand. Don't really need it to be on the main stand. And my main stand, as I've said in previous videos, is broken. So again, we have a screw here, but I've noticed mine's missing. So that's one less job I have to do. So I have to buy a new screw. Now, here again, you can see the bolt in there. And my very wobbly gear lever needs attention as well. This is the thing about using a bike every day, guys. If you use a bike every day, then it wears. Anything wears that you use, but it's just more expensive with bikes. So, like I said, make sure this is fitted in properly. Make sure you've got a good, solid sort of feel to it. And then these aren't high tensile bolts, but they do rust. And you've got to go careful with them. There you go. So now that's done, I can get this one in and I can just spin this out like so, and that one's out. This one, as I said, is missing, so that's one I got to look for. The next one now is this one in here, and again this is a different Allen bolt to the other one because it's only holding the plastic cowling, it's not holding the crush bars. So let's see what angle we can get here. Again, even though it's a small bolt, make sure you've got a good fitment for it. This one's slightly more difficult. That's in nicely. I have to go in this way and make sure it's seated. Don't rush. This is where a workbench, a proper like workshop would be nice, but you know, we do what we do. If we haven't got it, you cope without it. So make sure that's seated in. It is. Nah, this one's rusty. Well, not rusty, but it's it gets a lot of dirt, this one. So I'm going to take this one. See, that's not seated very well. You can see how much that turns. That's not nice. Let's try and get this one back in. And make sure it's seated. It's not seated in there right. This one's always been a pain. This is what takes the time, guys. It's not the actual job itself. all these little bits like this. Right, I'm going to get a spanner on the end of there because I can't get in otherwise. If you've got an awkward screw, as in Allen bolt, and you need to do it this way like I am, then get your screw, get your spanner, and make sure it's seated in that bolt properly, and then gently, oh, that's not feeling good. This is going to be a pain, isn't it? That bolt is not good. No, you can't really apply. I have got a heat gun, so I'd have to be careful not to melt the rubbers and not to melt. Just gently, gently. No, really doesn't want to go. So we'll get some WD-40 and get this free. Get some oil in behind there. And this is full of mud here, obviously. How to get Allen bolts out that are slightly rounded or damaged. As I said, I've never had this problem before. I have taken these out many a time and been okay. And I haven't got an impact driver, which is really annoying because that would work a treat, I think. Where's my trusty oil? Can I get that in and around there? Like so. Yep. Put some oil in it. At this point, I have to say I'm not really worried about rounding the bolt off because it's already rounded off. I can't get it out. So as I say, if anyone's got any good ideas on how to get this damn thing out, then please let me know, because how annoying is this? Okay, so let's have a look. What can we do here? See guys, even the best laid plans and all that. There's me thinking it'd be a nice, easy, simple job. Hour tops. And there you have it. Just goes to show. Sometimes what you think isn't what you get. Ooh. My theory is, I can see the oil filter there. So I'm going to drain the oil. I'm going to whip the oil filter out there. This can give us flexible. There's that blinking bolt in there. What we can do now, we can get this underneath. And we can start to work on draining the oil. Here is the sump bung. Don't know if you can see it. So we're just going to work on undoing that. Oil changes are a simple job, apparently. So here is the sump bung. Now these are known for being quite delicate on the threads. So I always use a spanner.